Anyway, Zach, I bring you in here because it's almost too good to be true.
A little bit.
So we talked about the greatest sports conspiracy theories a few weeks ago,
did.
I had to admit off the top that one of mine was wrong. Like, I thought there was this grand conspiracy for Dallas trading Luka to the Lakers, and the Lakers had just got out in the first round. So I was like, okay, we didn't set it up for the Celtics-Lakers final, or maybe the Lakers-Knicks final. So that conspiracy theory is dead. Not so fast, my friend. Okay, that conspiracy theory is rising from the dead, Zach Burke, because last night the Dallas Mavericks had what, a 1.5% chance?
1.8, I think.
1.8% chance, which I think was exactly what the Islanders had too, and they won the NHL draft lottery. But this team was playing in the play-in tournament.
That's true.
And now they have the number 1 pick in the draft. Arguably the best number 1 pick in some time, with Cooper Flagg the obvious pick. How did that happen?
Well, I think that the NBA wants me to say chance or luck or something of that nature, but it is kind of hard to just wrap your head around it a bit. And obviously I'm not necessarily going full tinfoil cap.
I am.
But you are? Okay. That's fine. But at 1.8, like, it's also odd too. And I know, like, we're getting into things, but it just seems like if you trade your star player to LA, you'll just wind up with the lottery pick the next year. Because when AD went to LA, the Pelicans got Zion too.
Yep.
So, I mean, I guess you ship Luka to LA, then like, all right, Cooper Flagg. But it just, here's the thing. Even if it were on the up and up, right? Just me playing devil's advocate for just one whole hot second. Even let's say this was completely legitimate, there is no dirty underhand dealings whatsoever, this would still be the story of that there was going to be, there's something else there.
Yeah, and it blew up last night. Like, everyone, even I follow a lot of Mavs fans, and a lot of them were like, come on, man. Like, this is what? Come on. Some would say it was just great luck because they were dragged through the mud this year, but others would say there's something afoot here.
I had been trying to find like a list of like just events to try to find things that were more likely to happen than the Mavs actually getting the number 1 overall pick to try to put this into comparison. But all these charts are like, oh, chances of getting struck by lightning. And I'm like, no, I want it to be just like, chances of losing your car keys or some shit like that. I get it was just like 1.8%, but still, like, that is so minute that it
drastic. So when Leicester City won the Premier League in 2016, they were like 5,000 to 1 before the season. And that was like the same odds of the hottest day of the year being on Christmas or something. Like some just crazy stat. That's what I'm trying to find out of this.
Yeah, no, there is. I guess that is kind of because I guess there were a couple teams that had worse odds, but not many.
They played in the play-in. Like, this is the more like finish just outside a playoff spot, and you could have the number 1 pick, which I think is actually a good thing for the NBA, but not for a lottery.
And no, exactly. And to that point, like, I guess technically the Rockets were the number 2 seed and they had that Suns 10th overall pick. Yeah, so I guess technically they could have also gotten the number 1 overall pick. But there was no way in hell I was thinking that was going to happen when we talked about it. Realistically, when we discussed yesterday of packages that they could put together for Giannis, I thought, oh, hopefully they'll maybe move up to the, get an 8th pick, something like that. The 1.8 shot is, hey, we got into the top 5. That's really good for us. Like, we got the 5th pick, guys, at 1.8. We're bragging about that. We're celebrating. Not the number 1 pick in the entire draft. Like, what does that also say to the teams, though, like the Wizards and stuff? And I get that in theory it's there for you not to tank, but who else in this draft after Cooper Flagg is going to help the Wizards not be shitty again? Oh, spoiler alert, nobody. So here we're coming.
Ace Bailey, Dylan Harper.
No, I mean, I'm not trying to knock him as a player.
No, you're right. Like, you're exactly
I don't even think Cooper Flagg is going to be generationally that great. And that's just my opinion. But so, like, these teams, I don't. Aside from Jason Tatum,
because he's white. Come on, Zach.
No, there's more to it than that. But I'm not just going to be force-fed everybody from Duke being the great superstar.
I think Cooper Flagg's gonna be great. I truly,
Okay.
and there are people that are saying like he's the best prospect
I
since
think he's
LeBron.
going to be Gordon Hayward. So let's keep going.
It would be decent. It doesn't lift up a terrible team, but yeah, that would be
No,
a
it
decent
doesn't. But he's not a star.
So let's outline the conspiracy here.
All
So
right,
originally, I thought the conspiracy was okay, like LeBron's out the door, really, in LA.
Yeah.
The Lakers need another generational star, and we need them to get back to prominence, and that would explain why the Mavericks don't shop him around. You know, Nico is friends with Rob Pelinka. They only make it clear to the Lakers, and bam, he's a Laker for 15 cents on the dollar. Like it was a fleece, right?
Yeah.
And that doesn't happen right away. You know, a lot of people thought the Lakers could be a finals team after that. They didn't make it. So that's why I was conceding the conspiracy theory. But now it's also pretty clear, Zach. It's like, hey, you know, you get it to Lakers don't have a ton of capital they can give you. Okay. They can give you Anthony Davis. I've talked to him. This is Adam Silver. I've talked to him to Anthony Davis, and they'll give you a pick. But what we can do for you in the future, just don't fuck around and make like a 5 seed. Don't do that. Shut Anthony Davis down, in fact. Yeah. And if you have a chance, if you give yourself a chance, Nico, Mavericks, we'll get you the number 1 pick. How's Cooper Flagg sound? I know he's not Luka, but Cooper Flagg with Kyrie over the next couple of years, you do a great solid for the NBA. And on top of that, there's a ton of negative reaction in Dallas after the trade, right? Like there's death threats, there's protests, everything everywhere in that city is fire Nico. The NBA doesn't want that. NBA doesn't want the fire Nico stuff everywhere. They don't want people looking into this. So they're like, we need to save this fan base right now, the way we did with Cleveland in 2003. How about we get them this number 1 draft pick and they get Cooper Flagg and all is forgiven. All is forgiven. Conspiracy, tinfoil hat. Zach, it makes too much sense in this league. Too much sense.
No. Here's where I'm gonna.
There's not a lot of people that need to be in on it. There's only like 2 or 3 people. Just saying.
I'm gonna push back a little bit on it, just because I get that it only needs to be 2 or 3 people, but those 2 or 3 people that know are not able to control the play that's out there on the court. So, well, damn it, this actually kind of goes.
You can shut down Anthony Davis.
This goes into your hand more. They did because I was going to say there was no controlling if they were a playoff team or not, but it doesn't matter. You wanted your chances to be worse. So obviously the worse you did, the better. Okay. Fine.
You traded your best player. That makes your chances worse.
You handicapped yourself. I get that. But you can't so then let's set up this scene. Let's make this movie. Let's set up this scene then.
Let's do it.
At this table, is it Adam Silver, Nico Harrison, and what? Like one of the Dumonts? And like are the Dumonts and that's it? Like is that just the 3 people that are there at this table?
The Lakers know about it. The Lakers are privy to it.
They're in on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
They know what
like there's a speakerphone there.
They know what's happening. Yeah. They know what's happening.
But that's it. That's the group that's making this happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Silver, maybe his deputy commissioner, the guy who does all the second round picks, the guy who looks like he's AI generated. He's probably in on that too.
So,
right. Cause they're the ones picking the balls. So it's not like you need 15 people in on this. And
true.
And this does feed into like a Tim Duncan kind of thing. Like, I'm not saying that the NBA absolutely needs the Dallas market, right? Like it's a solid market. It's nice, but it's not like they need the Lakers market or the Celtics or the Knicks, right? Or the Sixers, which they could have helped out. They could have helped out the Sixers, but I think they're sick of the Sixers shit. But this is like a Tim Duncan thing with the Spurs where they were starting to build something. They had some good teams under Robinson. They had that one bad year and they get Tim Duncan and all of a sudden they're a dynasty. I think they see the Mavericks as like, you know what? Like if we give them the first round pick, they're not going to fuck it up. Like if they get Cooper Flagg and Cooper Flagg is what we think it is, they're going to win championships.
That's a lot to put on.
Be in the finals. Like they did with Luka in the finals.
Okay. I get that. And maybe it's just me though, but Cooper Flagg.
Washington, they'll fuck it up. Charlotte, they won't even, they'll fuck it up so hard they don't even know they're fucking it up. Okay?
Okay.
But Dallas won't.
Because it's just the appearance to the fan base that they might. but it's because he was doing us this one solid.
Correct.
Everybody would look like an idiot trading away.
To Adam Silver, he doesn't have Nico does not have a blemish on his record because the only mistake he made was doing a solid for the league. Are you with me now? Are you following me?
So then does the team stay put in Dallas then too?
Yes. Oh, okay. No problem. No chance.
That whole Vegas stuff is just smoke.
No. That's nothing. That might have been, in fact, that might have been part of the deal.
As we stay in Dallas. Okay.
Because look, the NBA wants Vegas, right? No doubt.
That's true.
But
I think it and Seattle are the next two places to get teams.
But would you rather have your team from Dallas leaving, which is a top 10 market in America? Would you rather have your team from Dallas leaving or your team from Charlotte or Washington?
You mean the one that we've already moved around a couple times?
Yeah. Or who knows? New Orleans. Orlando. You know what I mean? I'm not saying these are
I get what you're saying.
Like they're about to move. They're packing up the bags.
You don't want to lose the Dallas market. No,
neither will the Mavericks, but Sacramento.
Okay. Then here.
Oh, they would love to move Sacramento to Vegas.
Here's the next part of this, and I'm going to make you open up your Ocean's 11 brain here for this.
Okay.
Because at least when we talked about conspiracy theories and the ones that could be true, with the Knicks and the conspiracy of them getting that when it was a cold envelope. So then how were they able to? Are we to the point where computers are advanced enough to where it just knew like, all right, boom, that's the ping pong ball, it shoots up? Or is there something like deeper? Are they like having to go around like pass off envelopes? It can't be that. Like it can't be that.
Well, didn't it come down to a coin toss? In the end, they coin tossed with the Bulls, and the Bulls got the 12th pick, and the Mavs got the number 1 pick.
That is the worst coin toss to lose, man.
Yeah, I mean, other than the Richie Valens coin toss that ended up with him dying in a plane crash. That's the second worst. It's all doable, Zach. It's doable. This would not hold up in court. There's a seed of doubt here.
Man, yeah. No, there definitely is. Like there can't be without a doubt. And there's not, because it does make sense for the for them to try it, because how else do they repair that? Like how else do they repair that franchise? If it's not with a pick that's something big like that, like they're not going to find somebody in free agency that could save the franchise or get it back to where it was. It would need to be somebody that would excite them, somebody like another who's the next generational talent.
And best part too, which is kind of my last point, I think, is you're right. Like that's what they're doing it for, Cooper Flagg. But we've already heard some people like in the know saying the Mavs could trade this pick.
See, and that's what I was wondering too.
And so now they have options. Like you're getting an all NBA player for the number 1 pick of the draft. Either way.
I think, and then again, this may be me. If I guess I have to get this thinking out of my head. If Nico Harrison is this genius who is,
smartest guy in the room,
made this plan with Adam Silver, and I'm thinking more of the logic of he's not necessarily that smart in trading away Luka. But I see in looking at this, the Mavs fumbling and somehow offering the number 1 overall trade for our number 1 pick in a trade involving somebody like a Kevin Durant instead of making
or a Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, instead of
or Giannis.
No, see, I don't see them being smarter. I feel like they go for like the name again, and that could just be me thinking, "Oh, Nico Harrison trading away Luka." You think it'd be And then
that's part of tomorrow's show, by the way.
Hold on. So are you saying, and I'm just going to tease this because I don't want you to tell me because I'm going to have to hang around and listen tomorrow, but are you saying that you think that there's a chance that Cooper Flagg could be wearing green and white?
He's always wanted to. And this thing has been thrown into flux the last 24 hours, the last 15 hours with the Celtics. It's completely changed the outlook on the next couple of years. They need to shed some money anyway. More on it tomorrow. But right now, we've got another great NBA conspiracy theory, and that's how the Mavericks have the number 1 pick in the 2025 NBA draft. Is this fishy? Let us know in the comment section below. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. We are on the march towards 4,000 subscribers. We're bringing you nothing but Boston sports content 5 days a week, live on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts as well. Check out the other videos on the channel for all our coverage. I'm Cam Stewart, your host. Zach Burke keeps us on the air. We will see you tomorrow on a little ditty that we like to call The Cam Show.